Hey fuckers, it's Friday.
Can't spell shattered without shat or turd.
Like a gut punch to the abdomen.
Some of the funniest shit on the web.
I call it a rock thread.
I like the cut of your jib, gentlemen.
These 5 are the only protection we have.
The best part of the show is the genuine Hasbro love.
Good night, folks.
And of course, Pat's weekly farts.
Breaking news.
It's very outside of the box.
Nailed it.
I love Friday.
Bob's Bait and Tackle, now carrying Hasbro.
They truly are your favorite podcast.
Thoughts, prayers, likes, and shares.
Shatter
A to B.
Uncut. Is that you?
When are you going to bring Larry back?
My favorite Star Wars podcast.
Shattered cast on
Complete fuckers. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only, and its sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it off now and
Shut the fuck up, Chip.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shattered Cast Uncut, episode 319. And I honestly lost my footing on the storyline I had going. So
it's okay.
We were destroyed by the rebellion, and now there's a power vacuum. So someone's looking to fill it in. Who will it be?
Turns out that Omnigonix has been alive this whole time, hooked up to some kind of weird machine. And Bobby was actually his daughter.
Does the power vacuum have
granddaughter? I'm sorry.
Well, we'll see. Who will take over as rulers of mankind now that we have been defeated? Will it be Omnigonix or will it be Botho, the meth-smoking dragon known to fart coronavirus? He's also psychic. Hey, I'm Botho. I'm not super dangerous and stuff because I'm a fucking dragon. So, joining me tonight,
if you're psychic, if you're psychic and you can fart the coronavirus at will, you know where someone's gonna be before they get there, so you could fart ahead of time, and then they walk into a stench cloud and get sick at the same time, and you're gone.
This is Botho, so he would be more malicious. Like he would read your mind and find out where you live and fart bare ass on your pillow. Mm-hmm. So not only would you get corona, but you would also get conjunctivitis.
So you'd be like, what's this shit stain on my pillow? I don't know. I'm tired.
I'm just going to rub my face in it. Rub it. So, yeah, that's fucking sanitary. And on this show, speaking of sanitary, this man is always sanitary. He has probably the neatest basement I've ever seen when he sent me photos of his stuff. By stuff, I mean his junk. By junk, I mean stuff he's fucking trading with me because it's sweet junk. That's ironically what his wife refers to his penis as sweet junk.
That's true.
He is the world's smartest Transformer fan, and clearly, thanks to being now a sexual deviant. Justin T2RX6, how you doing?
I am well, and those pictures I sent you were not of a clean basement. That my Transformer room is just like a horrible mess of boxes right now.
Oh, thank God, I'm not alone.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, you're not. My office is horrible. My wife wants to look for something here. I gotta look over her to be like, no, don't touch that one. Mm-hmm. That one's it. No, I don't know what's in that one. I don't want to open it yet.
My wife's like, you need to clean this up. I'm like, we need to just burn this place down. Like, I don't want to do that.
The little raccoon pops his head out.
Let me just fit all these legends in my pocket and let's light it up. Like, it's fine. I don't need all this masterpiece stuff anymore. You know, like, well, we'll get to that some other time. It is a feeling that, like, I feel like gross because of legends.
Yeah. I love legends, though. Mm-hmm. I blame mostly Robert and Matthew.
Mm-hmm. That's my blame entirely.
I held the first Legends class third-party figure ever when I visited Robert in New York.
What was it? Was it Little
the DX9 Galvatron?
Oh, that little fella.
Yep, that's why. Yep, that one's always going to hold a special place in my heart if I can fucking find it.
I'll send
you you know, so I was like, well, these aren't horrible. Then you showed me Little Maggie, as you called it. That was pretty sweet too. So.
Does anyone else feel like Little Maggie? I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you feel like Little Maggie's like an 80s sitcom? I just feel like it's a little 80s sitcom name.
Little Maggie.
Yeah.
This episode of Little Maggie, she applies for child support. All right.
Yeah.
And just like that, we lost our one female listener. That was my wife.
She left the room.
Yeah, she's like, "What a piece of shit I married. What a piece of shit." No, but yeah. But let's move on and introduce the other podcast member because we are down to one. Will be joining us later. Of course, he's everyone's favorite attorney and mine. He is also a good friend of mine. He's a snuggle buddy. You know, he likes being the big spoon, and I don't mind because he wears good cologne. Mr. Robert D.
Hello. How's everybody? How are you? How are you, Oscar?
I'm doing good. It was a good day at work today, so feeling good. You know, got myself a couple of Earthrise figures. Going to be talking about them in the what did you get this week segment. May say some controversial things, but we'll see. We'll see.
I thought you said Birthrise.
Earthrise, not Birthrise. You shut your trap. You shut your whore mouth, Justin.
Birthrise.
Roll Tide. That's for you, Matthew. Matt will be joining us later on tonight. He's over there killing it at the new gig. So, anybody get anything this week? Justin?
Nope.
All right. Yeah, that's good.
No, I really didn't. So.
Waiting sometime next week. I'll be like, Justin, what'd you get this week? I got a shit ton of fucking ninjas.
Yep.
And 3 figures I originally wanted, which were buried on the bottom and are incomplete. But I got a fucking Firefly.
Yep.
Whatever.
It's all good.
And a Snake Eyes replacement.
Indeed.
So, Robert, what did you get this week?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get anything. I think with the coronavirus and the zombie plague out east, it kind of cinched unless you're hunting, unless you're a huntsman, unless you're out there braving the wild, in pairs of 2s, or if you're really brave and you're hunting alone with no backup, you're not going to really pick anything up unless you're looking for Birthrise figures, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a...
One of the people in your duo is the fucking racist. And you decided that perhaps it is best that you no longer continue your friendship.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, Doug. Seriously. He listens too, so go fuck yourself, you racist shit. That's why your wife left your ass.
Hello.
Anyway.
What are we talking about?
Oh, don't worry.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so I did get something this week. So I met up with my buddy Ryan this past weekend. We went, I love going toy hunting with Ryan because he brings his kid. So it's always the same thing. We get to the register. It's like, okay, buddy, here's your McFarlane Batman animated series figure. He's such a good kid. And then we're walking out. Give me my goddamn toy. The kid's like heavy into Pokemon, which is fine. But so we're at Target, and I see the Earthrise Micromasters there, and I'm like, oh, gross! They have Micromasters, and shout out to Dust Mites who offered to pick me up the hoist when he next went to Walmart because he said they restocked the wave and everything there. But he's like, oh, hey, look at these. So my friend Ryan holds up hoist and wheeljack. I'm like, oh, dude. He's like, hey, man, I got you. Mostly because I blessed him on Christmas. I had a few gifts set up for him because he had a pretty shitty year. And I figured he could use some cheering up. So he says, I owe you. So this is him paying me back. I picked up Earthrise Wheeljack and Hoist.
Nice.
So in summation with Wheeljack, I honestly believe you insert, if they would have had 2 hinges, one for each leg, to cover the gap to where the knee is and stuff, you'd have a genuine mini MP Wheeljack. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm a big Iron Factory fan. I'm not saying he would be better than Whiskey. Is that what they called him?
That was
Whiskey?
Toy World.
That was Toy World. I'm sorry. Well, their version of
Whiskey
Wheeljack
Jack
is coming out. I'm sure it wouldn't feel as good or look as good as that, but in my humble opinion, I think this is a nice mini MP. Okay? So I love the Wheeljack. He's great. I'm not even a Wheeljack fan. So the one I was most excited for was Hoist. So from the front, Hoist looks phenomenal. Like I was getting some X-Transbots vibes, their Laurie figure, as well as no, that's Bad Cube. I'm sorry. I was getting the Bagcube vibes of Laurie as well as the X-Transbots. Like they're homages to the character, right? Those were phenomenal units. I own them both. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. Get him home, unpackage him. As soon as I grab him, it's that infamous like plastic rattle of like the wheels that are held by those like shitty clips, not by pins. Yeah. So I was like, oh shit.
That
I'm like,
sucks.
well, it can't be that bad. Fiddle with him. He's got
Fiddle
great
with him.
articulation. Giggity. Of course, my big turn on for a Hasbro figure is if they go the mile and give the character wrist articulation. You know, so that way you can pose every Transformer as if they're going fucking Super Saiyan. So I was like, he's got wrist articulation, cool. You put his little, I understood his cannon was going to be like, goes into a peg hole and it covers the hand. That's how it's going to look, right? So I was okay with that. But the moment I turn him around and the hollowness of his legs.
Hoist,
yes. The back of his legs, because they fold over on his thighs.
They're just empty.
It's very empty. I see pins, and it's like, fuck.
Well, I mean, still, how much was it?
It was $20.
So,
but
it looks pretty good for $20.
If I had to put these two on a scale of 1 to 10 for the Hasbro edition for 2020, Wheeljack would get a definite 8 out of 10. Hoist would get a 6. And what's hurting it is when I turn him around, those legs feel, I don't want to say spongy, they just they could have put a flap over. You know what I mean? Make me think it's covered. It's not, make me think it's solid, but it's really hollow. I'm okay with that. Say what you want about Combiner Wars. I made comments about Combiner Wars and the waffle syndrome all over the place, but at least their legs were solid. You know what I mean? So Hoist gets a 6 out of 10. I was the most excited for that figure, and I'm just like, man, I really hope they do a better job with freaking Trailbreaker if they do release a Trailbreaker.
Is that just from the? It's just from the back.
It's just from the back. It's a pain.
I think we, unless the hollows are needed for the transformation, I have a feeling Earthrise is gonna make way for a whole lot of little third party, even just homebrew type pieces that are just gonna fill in a lot of gaps, and you put it in and you leave it there forever. I really think
and that's what someone on Reddit said was they're gonna make, they're probably, the third party company's gonna make some gap fillers, but at the same time it's I want to be able to, because
it's a shame.
And another thing that kind of bothers me is his alt mode, the way his arms are tucked in. I can still see them. I wish they had a bumper that just flipped out and doubled as a wench or something like that from the front. Make them a full-blown redneck tow truck. You know what I mean? But alas, it's just a bumper, and it sits so high it just seems off.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So,
it's a shame.
Yeah.
And you'll be getting a Trailbreaker with the same mold. Yeah.
Wheeljack's alt mode though is fucking, it's one of my favorite alt modes in the last 10 years collecting Transformers. One of my favorite alt modes is the Generation Skids, the IDW inspired one. That is one of my favorite ones. I have the Takara, I got the Hasbro, I have that roll bar exclusive that came with an Optimus Prime. I got him. I got the Burnout BotCon reissue, recolor. All right? That is my favorite alt mode. And Wheeljack is officially my favorite alt mode of 2020 so far. For a Hasbro figure. That was a mouthful, and I apologize for carrying on about that.
No.
I appreciate your thoughts on it. I feel like the listeners probably do too. So I am definitely excited to get my hands on some. I'm sorry, say it again?
I think you're going to enjoy the Wheeljack.
Oh yeah, I think so. I don't have super high expectations for Hoist or Cliff Jumper, but hopefully I can still kind of enjoy them too. The fact that they're G1, very heavily G1 inspired alt mode it's like the thing I loved about classics, except even closer to being proper G1. You know, so you know, I'm in on it. I'm probably in on like every single company that makes a little gap filler kit and all that shit too. But I wish Hasbro did like charge me like $3 more, $5 more, and add those fillers.
Yeah. And that's going to be part of our discussion. I'm going to update the notes as we're carrying on with the first bit of topic, because is what, you know, for those of you listening, I think a good title for the discussion is going to be, what would you pay for blank, you know, in regards to Hasbro stuff.
I also think that I saw missing from the notes. We probably could talk about that G.I. Joe release that we're getting news about.
We really should, because for especially, and the thing is, I was talking to this about a friend at work. Shout out to my boss Corbin. Hasbro's got quite the monopoly now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they do.
You know,
they own a lot of stuff.
Yes, they do, and they really like. It used to be like when it came to action figures, you would be like Hasbro, Mattel, and probably NECA, and maybe McFarlane, right? And now it's Hasbro. I would say NECA, and then McFarlane, because you know NECA's got that established, you know, fan base, especially with like their Predator stuff, you know, and I would say Mattel, but Mattel hasn't had anything good in fucking years. Like they got the wrestling figures now.
Yeah, Mattel used to be the biggest company, I think, but I mean I don't know if that's still true anymore. Like. Most of the properties that I know they have, Hasbro now owns. So, yeah.
And when Hasbro nailed Power Rangers too, like that was it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got that. You know, you got. I know they picked up Ghostbusters, which I'm like, that's weird. I didn't know they. Were gonna do that.
Because Mattel just released a wave of WWE figures in Ghostbusters.
Exactly. I'm like, it seems weird. So, but
and I'm not knocking the listeners that collect WWE shit. I shouldn't say shit, but WWE figures, those are nice. I think when I was at Target with Ryan, I showed them. They have, I believe it's called the Ultimate Set. It's like it comes with a character. The character has 2 extra heads, 2 extra hands, and in some cases it'll come with extra arms for like ring attire and shit, which is seriously very impressive.
Yeah.
But my question is, you're doing that now because you're desperate, you know. But anyway, let's move on to news. There you are, Google Docs. Not a lot of third-party news this week. We'll let stuff stew over for next week's show. We'll go on directly to official news. Something I'm very proud to talk about here tonight. Everyone knows now by now I'm a big fan of Flames toys. Flames toys. Like they released that beautiful Drift, that Star Saber, that Tarn, and that Optimus Prime. Those are like basically, I think those are more Hot Toy-ish than the actual Hot Toys Optimus Prime they released a few years ago.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But having seen like Skullface's review, shout out to Bobby, seeing Skullface's reviews about him, hearing what the guys over at the Realm are talking about, you know, and they're gorgeous, they really are. But then there's those of us that are, you know, I love building model kits. I think they're great. So they released some prototype images this week, and I believe some of your friends over at Stasis Lock, Robert, were talking about it.
Oh yeah, the Gentleman's Podcast.
The Gentleman. So they did do an Optimus Primal, which that's looking beefy right there.
Now, you know, I think they've released the model kit. Now, when it comes to Windblade, and is that Hot Rod or Rodimus?
It's Rodimus.
So they've shown the Kurai, whatever, you know, version of Rodimus and Windblade. So I wonder if they're going to do one of Optimus Primal as well. I wonder.
That'd be some pretty intense shit. Now my only, like, Hot Rod looks good, very IDW-esque. You know, of course these don't fucking transform, So I'm curious as to how assembling him's going to be. What looks like it's going to be a lot of fun putting together is that Optimus Primal. Because according to this,
looks the most interesting to me personally.
Yeah, I mean, if this is the model kit, like we're talking about a kit with articulated fingers.
Oh, those are such a bitch to put together. Oh my god!
Especially if you've done it on a fucking Gundam or something before.
No,
the new style Gundam articulated fingers are pretty awesome.
They are.
Yeah, where it's all like molded as one thing. You just kind of like fold it like origami, and all of a sudden it's like boom, got a hand.
Ooh, well that's cool.
Yeah.
I wonder what they do here. This is probably just old school, maybe. I don't know.
I feel like
who knows?
I don't know what patents Bandai keeps, but like I kind of feel like there could be a patent on that hand system. But I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm sure a lot of these stinky fatties going to be painting all over that windblade, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god, yeah, they'll be coloring it with freaking man juice. So here's my beef with Windblade. She looks like such an anime girl.
She does. I thought it was Chun-Li at first.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're making a Chun-Li figure, and I'm like, oh, it's Windblade.
And it's like quickly pose her so her ass is showing. Look, the ass is rotate down to show. It's like really like maybe that's part of their engineering, their aim at it, but it looks very fan service.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and I get there's a whole swath of people who are into that, but like it's not something for like when they do it with RC and things like that.
Man.
Like it doesn't interest me. Like, I don't know.
Like look at her wings. Like
What? What's wrong with the wings? Let me see.
Say what?
Yeah, they've really minimized it. You're right. It could be any character.
It really can. You could color that blue, black, Caucasian colored skin, add some gold trim, and you got a fucking Chun-Li, like cyborg, or a mecha. And then I'm looking at it like those don't look like the type of design heels that would go with a female Cybertron. I'm sorry. Like, I know people are excited for this, but I'm sorry, man. That's an easy pass. Like, that's one set I'm not going to get excited over getting. That is, oof. Yeah. Boy, that's rough.
I don't know. Like, that is like, there's a lot of times, like, there's a lot of different mediums that they do it, like, where they make like these hyper sexualized versions of a character, and like it always just like makes me feel like strange. I'm like, I don't understand why you can't just make like Bulma from Dragon Ball Z, like just make her how she looks. Like, I don't need some weird like super sexual version. And then there's like Android 18, like I've seen some of them online, like that's just insane. Like, you've given her big tits, but she doesn't look like that at all, like I don't get it. Like, it's weird.
And and the whole thing about stuff like comedy or art, it's subjective, right? Mm-hmm. What one person likes, the other person may not like. What one person hates, the other person won't hate. So,
and absolutely, if you're into it, then fine. It's on. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. So
we lost Robert, by the way, so that's gonna be awkward.
We'll get him back.
And Mike, I may have to mute my mic because my kitten is. Yep, she's gonna drop. Hold on, Jesus Christ.
We're here at Shirecast Uncut having technical difficulties with kittens and lawyers.
God, what a night, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, some of you know I got a new kitten. My wife and I.
You hung up on me.
Nobody hung up on you. You hung up on yourself.
So, freaking, like, we got this new kitten, and she's past the timid stage. Mm-hmm. She's very cuddly, and now she's in the exploring stage. So everywhere she could climb, she goes to. She's like, I have a little craft desk I use when I repaint a Marvel Legend, or I'm working on fixing one for a friend. And she has already decimated my paintbrush rack I had. Yeah, but then I look at her, and then she just gives me that look, and I'm like, all right, that's fine.
It's okay. You destroyed this house. It's okay.
Yeah.
Wow, we're getting a lot of Beast Wars with the model kits. Check this out. Whoa. A lot of different primes. You get Monkey Boy, Lion Boy, what do you call it? Elephant Boy.
That's a big convoy.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we're wrong, our friends over at Stasis Lock will correct us very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the God.
And again, I'm not knocking these guys for the record. But,
well, this might interest you. It looks like the God Power jet armor does transform.
Really
interesting.
And this is
when I spoke to them, I asked them, how is it? Okay, you can't do the transforming stuff, but how is it that Starsaber can combine with Victory Leo? And they were like, well, Hasbro doesn't mind. They see like combining as not the same as transforming. So if it's like parts, those parts can transform into something, or if they parts form into something that combines with something, it's okay if there's some transforming element to it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is a little weird.
I mean, if they covet the whole transforming element of their product, I mean, combining is like a huge thing. But I'm glad they're okay with it because it really opens up possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward if they do a big convoy. I'm looking forward to that because I had that
image. I sent it.
Say what?
I sent the image. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, if they do the big convoy, I'm really going to be interested in that. As far as Lio Convoy, the lion version of him, which is going to be our next topic, which is a good segue. That looks really interesting too. But right now, these are just concepts.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
they seem to be able to put them out quickly, though. But you know what they are really excited about? They are very excited about their IDW Stealth Bomber Megatron.
Yeah, well, I am. So I have the Autobot version of that figure, which was the first one they released.
No, the Stealth Bomber. Stealth Bomber.
They're doing a Stealth Bomber Megatron. Jeez. Yeah, sorry, the kittens got me distracted.
I just sent the link. That's I think what's coming next is the Stealth Bomber Megatron. I asked them, why did you do, and they're doing the Fallen too. I asked them, why did you do Stealth Bomber and not G1? And their response was simply like, I was like, well, if you have the license, because you did it with the model kit, like you can do G1, you could do IDW Megatron. Why'd you pick the Stealth Bomber? And they're like, well, we could have done G1, but everyone does that. And we felt like it was a real opportunity to really explore the design with LEDs.
When did you speak to them? Because they what the hell they did a fucking they're doing a G1 Optimus Prime
at TFCon. That's what I mean. And they just, but when it comes to Megatron, that was what they said. They're like, well, not many people have tackled the IDW Stealth Bomber. So we wanted to do that. We wanted to show what we could do with the LEDs and the paint and really make it look good.
I think them doing the IDW Stealth Megatron's a great idea for them, like, because like their like detail and stuff, and like the way they put the LEDs, like, yeah, I think you can make that thing look awesome, and not having to worry about making a big robot transform into a stealth bomber. Like, yeah, it's smart all around.
And that's got to be a big reason why they have such a big production. They're very quick with production, is because they don't have to engineer that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whereas we sit there, we're like, oh, look, it's fucking Fan Toys fucking Motor Master. They got to figure out all the complexities. Meanwhile, these guys are like, oh, let's make a robot. Okay, how many double hinge? Okay, that looked pretty good. All right, that's pretty sweet. Okay, let's knock it out. 3 months? Great.
No, but they put a lot. You could tell they put a lot of thought and effort into making things like seamless, and like you don't ever have anything exposed. Like if there's a body part moving, there's usually something somewhere else shifting to adjust the anatomical shape. and if something's being exposed, there's something underneath to kind of explain that. And you know, it's painted. They're really and like on the Prime, the ab crunch on it, it's like, what? How does that stuff move? Like, because it looks like there's no room.
Is the stealth bomber Megatron gonna be a Goody kit? Like
no, not a kit. Is. No, not a kit. It's the proper figure, like the Karakuri. KKK.
Karakuri.
It's going to be a freaking dragon. Okay. It's going to be the, what do you call that? The dragon? Do you call that the head of the KKK?
The
Grand Dragon.
Wizard.
Grand Wizard, yeah.
The Fallen, I have no idea. I have no connection.
I'm here to cast spells of hate and injustice. I
have no connection to the character from the comics, but looking at those flame effects and knowing what they do with LEDs, I'm psyched. Like, that thing's going to look sick. You know, so but
I agree. I think these are beautiful, but now it's like, man.
This year, they said this year, I think the first thing coming out, it's either Rodimus or the Megatron, one of the two. They're both coming out this year. I think they're putting out 3 this year, they said. But I think the next 2 that we're going to see is the Stealth Megatron and Rodimus. And I think
that's the high-end figures.
Yeah, the high-end. We should be seeing I don't understand why we don't see Victory Leo. But what do you Victory Saber is when they combine, right?
Yes.
I'm not that familiar with that line. So
yeah, it's Star Saber, Victory Leo, and then Victory Saber.
They did another run. They're doing another run for anybody who missed out. They're doing so they did Tarn, and then they did like a even more painted version of Tarn. And now they're doing a rerun of the first version of Tarn. And in case anybody missed out, you better go to their site, go to D4 Toys and pre-order. Don't wait till the stuff hits. I mean, I wouldn't wait. When you pre-order, you get like a bonus part, and you pay up front, but it's secured, and you're the first person to get it shipped to. You generally like a month before anyone else. You know, but so yeah, they're rerunning Tarn. I guess maybe it's from, I don't know, maybe they can make money. I guess maybe that's going to fund the next run. I hope so.
That is a beautiful unit, though.
It really is.
How much was it?
Oh my god, I don't even know. I don't even know. Okay, it had to have been more than $300. It had to have been. I can't recall.
You spot me more than $300, Robert. I'm good for it. I'm not a drug addict yet.
I won't put it up my nose.
I won't try to sit on it.
I won't inject it in my arm. Where is it? That just looks crazy. This is the Victory Leo. No, this is Victory Saber. I've never seen this image before. So this is their proper Star Saber painted with the prototype armor from Victory Leo on him. And like, it just looks really bad having like unpainted prototype stuff on the nice painted Star Saber.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't look right.
Looks super
so is this
bulky.
Victory Leo just going to be an add-on kit, or is he going to be an actual?
Into the lion, I believe.
Yeah, he turns into the lion. And
I know he turns into the lion, but is he going to? So it's not going to be a robot then. It won't be the character.
No.
Right. It'll be the lion, and then he comes apart and parts forms onto Saber, Victory Saber, and then it becomes, Victory Saber.
Oh,
Star Saber.
Like pose Star Saber riding Victory Leo into victory.
His butt.
No, not in his butt. Ah, bro, fucking joke's dead, bro. That looks nice though. That really does. That looks very sharp. I mean, it looks like Goku's going Super Saiyan in his chest, but
it looks weird with the non-painted stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure once he gets a few licks of paint, it's gonna look fucking great.
So I think Star Saber was like $370, and Prime was $400. Man, Tarn is. If you want to buy Tarn now, it looks like it's like $350 for Tarn. Yeah, it's like $300 to $400 for Tarn. But I mean, I'm sure the second run is going to be more expensive.
Yeah, it normally is. Because man, do I remember back when Tyrant was like what, $100? MMC's Tyrant or Megatron.
Yeah.
And then they re-released him. He was $125. That's just a small example. I'm not saying that's absurdly expensive, but I mean, I remember.
Wow, there's like $100 price. Not 100, like a $60 price difference. No, and $395 for the Star Saber, and $450 for the Prime. I'm just not sure if it's the secondary market. No, I think they're both like 400. They're all kind of in the same price range when they first come out, because they all are around the same size. They all come with a lot of accessories. You know, they all have a ton of engineering.
Right.
So maybe Drift was a tad cheaper, but then that thing shot up in price.
Yeah.
Every single one of their releases is like mind-bogglingly beautiful. You know.
Well, here's something that some people think is mind-bogglingly beautiful, and some people think it's a goddamn joke. It is the Takara Masterpiece Lyo Convoy from Beast Wars. In the package images, fucking lion face.
I don't know, guys.
I am not a fan of this.
I feel like they jumped the shark.
Yeah, I don't know.
With all due respect to Beast War fans everywhere, I'm just saying Perfect Effect did it better.
Yeah, I agree.
You remember that, Robert?
Yeah, half three of them sitting right in front of me right now. They're sitting on a Tupperware box, like looking all sad, like, why the fuck are we on this Tupperware box?
Please don't kill us and eat our bodies.
Surrounded by papers, sandwich bags full of accessory, and empty MP44 box, fucking Poland Spring bottle. I'm not exaggerating. They are. They're beautiful. Yeah, I don't know, guys.
I mean, from the back, it looks. I mean, I'm looking at the images coming in the book, but the back, it looks kind of clean. But in the end, it's, you know, what I loved about the Perfect Effect was the. Excuse me. The lion.
I get verklempt when I talk about this.
Sorry, I've just been a long day.
I get really sad.
Shut up. Stop making fun of me. I'm not stupid. No, but those lion faces are really intimidating and they're fierce, and that's what I loved about the Perfect Effect. And that it really felt like those were a freaking. It looked like it was a fusion of like the Beast Wars design and Gundam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I loved about it.
Mm-hmm. It's visually interesting. It feels good because of the Teft. Yeah. I mean, I get that this looks more like that. This looks more like whatever it's supposed to look like, but like, I don't know. It's fine. To me, this is like the Perfect Effect is like translating the cartoon into something visually interesting, you know, something visually interesting, kind of more realistically imagined, kind of like, you know, like the MP cars that actually look like a real car were kind of like that translation of G1 cartoon, right? So
they made them look fierce. They look fierce. You know, they're beautiful.
They're very hyper realistic, is the way I look at them for the Perfect Effect. And as far as like the Takara version is concerned, you know,
they were like, they want cartoon. Let's give them fucking Hanna-Barbera. Let's give it to them.
Let's give them Kimbo the Lion.
Comes with Captain Caveman accessory.
Captain Caveman.
Order now and get your free Woody Woodpecker Crimzeek. What the fuck, you know?
Again, like, this is for the hardcore Beast War fan that needs this. If I find this at a decent price, I may jump on it. But the current price they're asking for, that's like what is it, like almost $200 for them or some shit like that?
No, are you serious?
I don't know. It's been a while since I researched this, but
I gotta find out. And you know what? Look at the image of him in the clamshell, just like kind of like he's been frozen in clamshell night, like
Carbonite.
Jabba. No, it's clamshell night though.
Oh, look at all those freaking panels.
I hope that's I hope that's as good as it gets. Right there. That's what I hope. Why? Because I'm a piece of shit. I just, you know, what bothers me is like if it doesn't sell, then they're just gonna be like, fick it, cancel MP.
So the BBTS price, which is obviously a little more expensive than if you were to go ahead and order it from Japan directly, is $184.99.
Called it.
Out of here.
So let's say like given the JP price, like maybe 140, 150, I would guess.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, okay, I mean, I get you want toon realism, and I get this is what he looked like in the cartoon. But did the animators really want him to look like that? Were they imagining that when they were giving you these images? Did they expect you to expect it to really look like that in your own mind's eye? You know what I mean? Or were they limited with their tools and time constraints? Like, is this actually doing it justice, looking this much like the cartoon? Because that cartoon didn't look so good. I mean, give me 8 reflectors painted green standing in front of 12 Thundercrackers, all named Starscream, any day over something that looks exactly like the cartoon, and it looks really, really childish. But what bothers
when I look
me
at this, when I look at this, I am going to post this in the chat. This is the feeling I get from looking at the beast mode.
And I don't like, okay, just from a design perspective, I don't like how part of his mane is on his shoulders. And okay, maybe that's in the design, maybe that's in the character, and that's supposed to fall on his parts in robot mode. But it definitely breaks up the sculpt if you want to articulate his head around. All of his mane isn't attached to his fucking head. So what does he have, hairy shoulders? Is he a lion with hairy fucking shoulders?
That was part of the, like, that's the thing I do like about this figure. It's like, again, I look at the aesthetics of him in robot mode, and I think it looks beautiful. But once you turn over to his right shoulder, there's that head.
That's the worst part of it. And even when you go ahead and hide those silly eyes and stuff, like, it doesn't look good. Yep.
I mean, I guess you're just going to have to really keep it in robot mode. It's just not detailed. Like, don't you guys want detail? I don't know. It's so toon accurate. And it looks a little less. I don't know. It's like, if you're going to go clean, right? You've got to really, like, sometimes a little bit of mess will cover up, like, design mess and engineering mess. It's so confusing anyway, the line work and stuff. It kind of flows. When it's this clean and simple and plain and smooth.
I think, having been someone that owned the Beast Wars Lio Convoy, I did a big dumb toy review on it and everything. This, honestly, and again, I'm not knocking Beast Wars fans, guys. Like, I love my fair share of Beast Wars.
Me too.
If they ever did a Beast Wars Scorponok, I would jump on it in a heartbeat. Okay. One of my lookouts at TFCon 2020 is going to be for the recolored Cheetor, the Black Panther one. I'm looking at this figure, and I'm remembering when I had that Lio Convoy. It is literally nothing more but like a more modern take on that figure, because even the arms fucking hang the same way as the original toy does.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm holding right now MP Beast Wars Megatron. Thank God they didn't go hyper show accurate. They gave it texture. Like, they really, and that show didn't have texture. It was crappy. Why didn't they do that with the Beast Wars, the G1 Beast Wars, I guess you'd call it, right? What season 1? Why didn't they? Are they going to do that now with Beast Wars stuff? I mean, they're going to say, oh, they wanted super plain.
You know what, though? They might. They did it with G1 toys. Like, that's been my gripe from the beginning, is like, like, as soon as that Inferno came out, I was like, well, now they're switching the aesthetic,
Yep.
This Beast Wars Megatron is gorgeous. It's one of the best looking figures in my collection. It really is. And
I could say the same for the Optimus Primal. I think that's a great addition to anyone's, if they're a fan of Beast Wars, but again, I had the Leader Class Optimus Primal toy, and that really, and this is from when I went to TFCon in Toronto. I purchased that, and I had it and I bought it from my friend Martin, who was going to meet Gary Chalk for him to sign it. And I got the fiddle with it, and I was just like, this literally reminds me of nothing more than like a lighter, more articulate version of that same toy.
Yeah. Well, that was a good toy.
You know, but I don't know. To each his own. I'm glad the Beast Wars fans are finally getting their due. Fuck, that was to a lot of fans. That's their G1. You know, we have to respect that. Not everyone's gonna watch the same. You know, because let's fucking face facts here, Robert. That fucking '84 cartoon wasn't exactly a piece of Shakespearean theater. You know what I mean?
Okay, but what would you rather? Would you rather a Leo Convoy, or would you rather a Scorponok or a Rampage or a Waspinator or a Pterosaur? Any of those? Wouldn't you rather one of those?
I'd rather a Pterosaur. Yeah, I'd rather a Pterosaur. But the thing is, the thing is, you also have to remember this. This is from a series that debuted in Japan.
Yeah, but I mean, are they going to now go that route? Are they splitting off from?
I think if they go the Beast Wars Neo or Beast Wars 2 route,
are they gonna splitting away from that?
I don't know, but I think if they're gonna be doing characters from the shows of Beast Wars 2 or Beast Wars Neo, that's the route they're gonna go with it. But I think if they stick with like the Americanized Beast Wars, I think we'll still get like that beautiful Cheetor, that awesome fucking Megatron, that beautiful Optimus Primal, that Dinobot, which is goddamn. But, you know, and now they're doing a Tigertron, which I'm excited for. You know, so and they're they're just trying to match aesthetics on how it appeared on TV. You know what I mean? Oh, my back.
Yeah. No, I mean, I understand. It's just, you know, the question is that what you
I'm sitting here talking to myself, and I'm like, these guys would never let me talk this long. And I was like, damn it, I'm talking to thin air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you keep getting booted off of Skype. That's awkward silence.
I know, it's like really quiet. I'm like, I'm not making that good of a point. I'm kind of rambling at this. I'm like, guys, are you there? And it's just like,
but it's, you know, but I think at the end of the day, I think if you're a fan of Beast Wars Neo, Beast Wars 2, I think this is going to be for you, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Me, it's an easy pass, you know? I honestly think it's nothing more than a more articulated version of the original toy, which I owned. I did a big dumb toy review on. You know, like, easy pass. And I didn't even have, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, like, I think what's called Burning Convoy. Mm-hmm. No, that was the Optimus Primal. It was a red Optimus Primal. Or it's like Flash Convoy, where it was like more glittery colored and shit, and was more subjective to gold plastic syndrome. And honestly, think that's what has the one up. You know what I mean? On a lot of these toys that they're doing this way is we don't have to worry about gold plastic syndrome taking effect. Like especially with that Dinobot. But so our discussion.
Jello.
I was drinking water. I'm
gonna try to put your face on this white lion.
Don't do that. So Justin, I would like to restart our discussion where you asked me how much would I be willing to pay if Hasbro was to step up their game a little bit design-wise.
Yeah, let's just say, to qualify this, like, you know, we're talking about either reintroducing the flaps, you know, that previously like classics had that covered, you know, unnecessary parts. We're talking about metal pins in the wheels as opposed to plastic things. We're talking about, you know, maybe just a little extra engineering, you know, like you said, that sliding joint to cover things on Wheeljack, you know, and just like kind of the elimination of the whole waffle, you know, like what would you be willing to do or pay extra for that? Like considering the price that it is now already.
So standard MSRP are like $19.99, right? Plus your tax and stuff. So if we're talking good plastic, all right, Not like I'm talking like so. I'm gonna say something brave here. The studio series figures I feel like have a better feel to them than the actual like generations, figures. But if we're talking like studio series grade plastic or something comparable to like Iron Factory, I would be more than happy, especially if they cleaned up well. All right, I didn't see that many waffles. I didn't see exposed pins. I would pony up about $40.
Mm-hmm.
I would pony up $40 for a deluxe, and maybe throw in a few extra accessories, some laser fire or a couple explosions. Now put a little bit more detail in a character's eyes so they don't look so goddamn fucking soulless. I'd be happily. I'd pony up $40 for it.
Sorry, I got distracted by some cat photos.
Stupid. But I know told your ass not to do nothing. But yeah.
And
if they were,
it kind of, to me, like I kind of echo that statement. Like I think about like Star Wars and stuff, and like I know like Black Series and Marvel Legends at that like $20 price point or whatever. Like, it's still accessible to kids. And I think largely, I feel like that's why Transformers does what it does, is try to remain accessible to kids, at that price point. But, like, I still think that, like...
Is it really, like...
Yeah,
is it really accessible or aimed at children? Because let's think about it, right? Like, let's use your kid for an example here, Justin, which I still think is one of the cutest kids I've ever seen besides my nephew.
Thank you. I made him not by myself, but
I hope they could. So, if you buy your kid Siege Spinster,
mm-hmm.
and you give him Siege Spinster, do you expect him to figure it out on his own? How's he going to transform?
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
So, or would you sit there and be like, "Oh, look, they got this like Cyberverse one-step Megatron. There you go." Then your kid's like, "Wow!" Right? Whips him out one shot, and he's having fucking blast forever.
So let me also qualify this, that over Christmas, being that I am a Transformers fan, my wife's mom bought a Cyberverse whatever Megatron. He turns into this like tank and whatever, but like for my son, like. And like we opened it up and looked at it, and I'm like, holy shit, this feels like it's like a knockoff. Like it's so cheap and flimsy. Like I should review it. I should definitely review it. I don't know. She might see it, and if I was saying that it's kind of shit, then I'd feel bad. But I mean, like seriously, like it's really, really quite bad. Yeah. So like and that's a price point aimed at kids, obviously, right? So I don't get what exactly they're thinking about in this case. And like going to what you were saying, Oscar, and I don't know why my phone is talking to me, it thinks I'm talking to it all the time, but going back to what you were saying, Oscar, like paying like $40, like if you could get like a great G1, like a great redo of a G1 character or whatever, wouldn't you get like the parents who grew up with it being excited kind of about it, and they'd pony out a little more for something like amazing to their kid? Like, I think so. I would.
Well, it depends on the age, right?
Yeah.
Well, so here's like my thing, right? So those one-step changers definitely aimed at kids. Cyberverse figures, God, they are.
And Matt.
Definitely aimed at kids and Matt. All right. So these are ones I would totally believe 100% is aimed at children. And then we get into the world of Earthrise and for today, at the time of this recording, as well as the studio series. I cannot believe those are aimed at kids.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and
I don't think so.
I believe those are aimed at the adult collector.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of Transformers are anymore.
Well, they really.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say they really could. There's such like a freaking disparity at this point between. I like how much I really think the Studio Series and Earthrise has really stepped up from prior seasons or whatever you call it, with incarnations. I think they really are an improvement. They're a vast improvement, but there's a big gap between that in terms of spending price, right? Between that and then now MP, because MP isn't $80. It's not $79.99 for a fucking MP11 Seeker. It's not $129 for an MP10.
If you pay attention, a lot of those movie MPs are $80 price points.
True. But I mean, there's room for a market for something between 50 and 69. Mm-hmm. There's a window there, and
that's when I mentioned it earlier before we started the show. I had a conversation with Justin Christian where I would be okay paying $50-$60 for a Hasbro made figure if it was aimed directly for the adult collector, right? A little more complex transformations, comes with extra accessories, right? Give me a regular head, a battle damaged head, right? Freaking weapons, blast effects, the whole nine. You go to Home Monty, I'd be cool with that. Okay? But when you are doing a line that I am convinced is not aimed at children, and you're charging $20 a unit, which, mind you, we talk about Marvel Legends and stuff. Marvel Legends for $20, some of them come with more accessories than any Transformer I've ever purchased.
Wow, you just blew my mind. What if instead of having a different run of figures, they take a page out of third party and they say, here you go, we're going to make our own add-on kits with extra accessories and gap fillers in the event you wanted to spend an extra $20 to $25 on this figure.
Now, they did kind of do something like that a while ago, not like gap fillers and stuff like that. They did. It was when they released when they were doing Combiner Wars. Okay, they released it was a sticker sheet. Remember how they're called toy hacks now, but back then we were calling it retro labels.
Mm-hmm. I like
labels
retro labels better than toy hacks, personally.
Yeah, toy hacks, honestly, it just sounds like a weird sex move in China. But freaking, they released their own sticker sheet for the aerial bots. But again, they're, whereas toy hacks has designers that sit there, take their sweet time, and the guys at Toy Hacks know what kind of materials to use, right, to make these stickers work. Hasbro is the big business, so they're trying a way to produce this and try to make some income off of it, okay? Rather than hemorrhage out funds to do this little thing for the fans. That's probably how they look at it. So that's why you had that sticker set that everyone was like, yeah, I put them on, they fucking fall off, they're garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were like an example of what I would call let's use Gundam models, for example, high grades, right? The HG, those are like the really advanced model kits. Or is it like metal or something like that they're called, Justin?
I know which ones you're talking about. I'm not sure what they
So
what
let's make our fictitious high-end Transformer from Hasbro. Let's use freaking Wheeljack, okay? He is standard deluxe class size. Now he comes with his shoulder missile. He comes with an actual gun. He comes with his little chest that opens up and has like molded in plastic of different types of tools and shit, okay? Comes with two heads. One regular head, one with the blue lights on. Remember that was a big ordeal for, was it Dr. Wu that did that?
Mm-hmm.
Transformers Prime Wheeljack, all right? He comes with those accessories. All right, the legs are filled in. We keep the same type of design, same type of transformation. You could easily sell that for $40.
Mm-hmm.
And that toolbox, that whatever, that could be fucking cheap, and that can be made out of really cheap fucking plastic. It could be fucking rubber, so that way it goes in, it goes into the fist, the 5mm peg hole better. All right, you could cut those corners there and still make this a high end and make it just seem better than your average. Hey, here's hoist. Well, 3/4 of a hoist. Because we don't want to make the back of his legs.
Yeah, what if they were just like, here, $20, you get all these blast effects, maybe a stand and gap fillers. Like they would really take it to the
They're
next
doing
level.
that now with Cyberverse. That's what drives me crazy. They're doing that with their Build-A-Figure. Cyberverse has a Build-A-Figure. I forgot. It's like McAdams or something like that. Everyone's joking, saying it's Thu from Thu's Awesome Transformer Reviews. But it's freaking. They're doing that with Cyberverse. It's their deluxe line. They come with black. Freaking Matt's been reviewing them.
I know. I've been watching his videos.
I've been watching them in hell, but they've been doing that. Why not do that with your not kid aimed line?
And Matt,
yes. So let's go to.
I wonder how many of those shampoo bottles Matt bought. Do you think Matt bought all the shampoo bottle ones? Remember, they're like a foot tall and they're just shampoo bottles. They don't even have a hole for shampoo though.
Those are fucking garbage, man. They don't make them a foot tall anymore, but now they make them. They're about just shy of 5 inches, and they sell them at Dollar Generals.
That's when you go to Toys R Us on a hunt. I remember when I used to still hunt back when I was in shape and I could survive on my own. And you'd be like, they have that fucking shampoo bottles and a $5,000. What was it what was that Starscream with the crown on his head? Galaxy
Coronation Starscream.
No, the big one though. The big one that turned into the Tetrajet, the giant.
Oh yeah. The Supreme Class Starscream.
They'd have that for like $5,000, and then a row of shampoo bottles. She's like, God damn it, more shampoo bottles.
Oh man, like the moment. Oh, when was it that they launched that whole line in Target? Not Target, fucking Dollar General. They're called Titan Class series or something like that. It was like the really cheaply made 3 points of articulation, the 2 arms and the head move. That was it. It's like Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, Bumblebee, Megatron. Look out, everybody!
Do you remember it was not long ago that they did those like characters? They did them for Marvel too, that you could like pop off their joints and like swap them out and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hero Mashers.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, that's what it was. I have the Rodimus. I think I had the Rodimus.
God.
I was like, this is terrible.
Did you try it? Were you like, I'll give it a try?
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah. I was like, Rodimus. Like, it's not often you see a Rodimus toy out there. I'm like, okay, sure. And I'm like, I'll try it, whatever. And I got it. I'm like, this thing sucks. Like it has so little articulation. It's legitimately holding a brick, you know?
You take that back, you son of a bitch.
You suck.
Go to hell. How dare you? No, but no, I bought the Starscream from that line, and that was I mean,
the Hero Masters?
Yeah.
Why don't you and Justin swap parts? Justin, send him an arm and a leg, and Oscar, you send an arm and a leg.
That's like we kidnapped each other's toy.
Let's go.
Everyone see Starscream again. Start making videos for my YouTube channel.
A little Autobot Spike action going on, you know?
You know, that's one thing they could have done. They could have released all the characters to make like a little Autobot Spike.
That makes sense.
That would have been cool. That would have been some fan service.
Do you remember when they made the Dinobots for that line?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they made dinosaurs that look like robots.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty neat. It's like, oh, hey, I could fucking rip off Grimlock's head and put it on Slag's body. I'm sorry, Slug's body. But, yeah. Whatever.
Oh, God, I can't. It always makes me laugh whenever I hear that they changed Slag to Slug because Slag is offensive in Britain.
It is. It means, I don't know, they have that comic strip called Two Old Slags.
Yeah, but I mean, they throw the word cunt around like it's like candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or like when someone posts a video of a bank robber trying to rob a gun with a fake gun, and then next thing they show a clown covered in blood. I first saw that. That had me. But anyway, let's go to our listener question. This is a long one.
And before we do that, Matthew, how are you tonight?
Matthew!
Hey, Matthew.
Hey there, everybody.
You had a good night? Sound a little tired.
Yeah, I'm tired, back in the workforce, and I just had to eat and everything, and spend time with Belisa. A little bit, not much.
Man, we're glad to have you on, Matt.
That wall of yours requires a lot of reading. Jesus.
What do you mean?
That freaking poster. I don't even. That's probably an engraving. It's got like 5,000 words on it. It's like live, laugh, love. Don't forget the ones you love. Hug it out. Kiss it out. You are
what are you
best
talking
friend.
about? I don't know
On
what you're
the
talking
wall that says Matthew and Belisa, and then next to it's like a 7-foot tall, like
Mural.
tiny word transcribed, like love
about. Are you
potion.
talking about Lisa's post about Gator?
I'm talking about your wall that Gator's sitting in front of. He's like, you taking a
That's
picture of
the
me?
dining room. Yeah. That was the wedding present, the Matt and Lisa thing that was made for us. It was pretty
No,
cool.
that's lovely. But what's up with the scroll of knowledge next to it?
I don't know. That's all Belisa. Yeah.
Because he likes to cast spells. That's why.
I think that's what it is. The spell.
So what I missed? Everybody all right? How y'all doing? Is Greg not on?
No,
No,
Greg's
Greg's
not
not
going
on
to join
tonight.
us tonight.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He's hitting that grind.
Oh yeah.
Grinder.
Sorry I missed. It's gonna be hectic for a couple weeks, but I'm in training for about 5 weeks, and then I'll get my schedule, which will probably be the same that I'm doing what I'm training right now. So it's gonna be a little hectic. So, but I try my best to get here.
What's
We'll make
training
it
like?
work for you. But most importantly, Matthew, what'd you get this week?
What did I get? I got the
Battle
Earth.
Masters.
I did get Battle Masters. Not really. I got. I found.
How many Battle Masters do you own?
What is a Battle Masher? You mean
Oh, I
Battle
don't even-
Masters?
No, Battle Masher. The ones that you can take apart and rearrange.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's talking about. Remember how Marvel had the hero mashers?
Oh, the Hero Smasher. Oh, I have one. I have the Starscream, but I don't even know. I think it's in my Starscream collection area.
Wait,
but-
and Justin has the. Which one do you have, Justin?
Jazz?
I had Rodimus.
And Oscar?
I had a Starscream because he's a jet.
Damn it. It's not gonna work. You know, you got two of the same ones. You send him 2 of your Starscream arms, and Matt, you send him 2 of your Starscream legs.
Nah. I don't know if I have all the pieces. They're trashy.
Hey, wait, did you ever buy the shampoo bottles?
I did not. No, I did not get those.
The 1 foot tall ones, you know? And
Oh no. Okay, I'd had the little G1. I have Starscream. They have some G1s out right now that have Starscream. I think Shockwave, Optimus Prime, and Megatron. I think
Soundwave also.
Soundwave. Is it Soundwave? Okay, yeah. I have the Starscream one just because
That is the only Transformers that were in my Walmart for a while. I still think that they are the predominant things in my Walmart.
Yeah. Well, my Walmart's got a little better now. My Target. Well, what I was going to say, I got the Earthrise Grapple and Optimus Prime, and my boy Mike. He picked up Starscream for me, so I'll get him tomorrow. I just need to find the deluxes, and I'll be caught up on the Wave 1 stuff. And
Bitch.
no,
Yourself a collector.
I know. I don't think
Got
I
any more grapples out there by you, Bubba?
Yeah, I'll go look. I mean, my wife picked these up too for me, but I think she said there was one left. Somebody went and got everything before me and everything, so I didn't hit anything. I didn't get anything, a lot of it, but I got 2 of them. I don't think I got anything else. I don't think I got anything third party. So Terry ain't been shipping anything out lately, so just like
Terry stick.
nobody's shipping anything out really over there. So they just started. I think they started ramping up this week. I think, but yeah, I got to order some more stuff. That's it. That's all I got. I'll look for grapple though for you. If you need a grapple, are you near a Target or anything? Is that why you have?
I did it because I picked up the hoist and wheel jack.
Oh, nice. See, I haven't seen the deluxes at all, man.
You're gonna love wheeljack. You're probably gonna fucking hate hoist though.
What I've seen, the only thing I really have any issues with so far, what I've seen reviews is the alt mode has the arms hanging out and has that big old, space where they could actually put them there. They could have put like maybe a hinge on the arms or something. So
make it like an extra bumper with a winch or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kind of like alternate. Yeah. See, I was just talking about that earlier. Yeah, tell it. We're in sync, bro. We're in sync.
I'm do
inside
the grapple. I hope so. I'm gonna do grapple tonight and everything, so I'll do a review.
Oh, can't wait to see. I'll see that. You gonna post it tonight?
No, it'll be in the morning probably.
Oh no, do it tonight so I can watch it when I wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Dude, all right, yay.
Okay. I'm not gonna promise you.
All right.
You do wake up that early. You don't even go to bed till like 2 in the morning, Robert.
That's why I can't wake up that early.
Even though we don't talk anymore. We used to talk like every day, but it's been a minute since we ever talk anymore.
You don't want to talk to me. You never talk to me.
No, you know what? You have time for everybody else, and I know who you have time for. You don't have time for me.
But the
That's fine.
hate face.
You don't. Yeah, I know you text him every day. You probably text Justin too. You probably text Justin too.
Well,
No, I don't hear from him.
You know,
Actually, I'll be real talk here, Matthew. Roberts helped me out a lot in the last year.
That's good. He's helped out a lot of people.
He's been a real friend. He's won my heart forever.
That's good. He had my heart. He had my heart about 5 years ago.
Oh, jeez.
Something like that. But we
I'm
don't
just
talk.
busy.
You know.
I'm so behind on work. I'm so stressed out because it took so long to get this office set up, and I'm still having IT problems. Because this guy, I got my IT guy working on the computers for 2 days because it's a long story. And then at the end of it, he's like, I think we're going to switch you over to SharePoint. And I'm like, wait a minute. Does that mean we have to redo everything you just did? He's like,
yeah. He said,
really fucking annoyed. You know, still dealing with computer issues and like buying phones. You know, it's just like the difference between Vonage. It's going to be like $160 a month. Ring Central. It's going to be $80 a month. Magic Jack Business, $25 a month. And it's all the same VoIP service. So we're just like, should we just do the Magic Jack? Like, why are people spending all this money on their phones? You know?
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and cross-check what features they all offer. I believe Vonage always records your calls. You could always select them and play them back at will. So it's a nice little. It's a virtual receipt maker, which is really neat. As far as that other stuff, I've never heard of fucking Magic Jack. That's up there with like.
I've heard of Magic Jack before.
It's like a little plug-in. It used to plug into the back of your computer or something, right?
They're like they provide all the same services. Like, you know, there's an app, and like, you know, the difference is like Vonage, you pay like a la carte for all the different things you want, so you can end up paying through the nose. And it's always bad in a small business to like you want to keep your overhead as low as possible, so that if there's a dry month, you coast through it, as opposed to get behind on your bills. You know. Like I have people I share a suite with. They spend $500 a month on their phones.
God damn.
$400 a month on leasing a copier. I bought an HP Color LaserJet Pro for freaking $250, and it's gonna last me for years.
Why would you lease a copier?
Because lawyers think they have to like do this in order to have a proper law office. That's like why.
You can go fucking.
They all
buy a computer or a copier for.
They all do, and you know what? If you buy your copy machine at Costco, you can return it in 4 years with no wires and a fucking hammer smashed through it, and they just give you your original price back in cash.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And you get some free samples too.
And you get pizza for $1, and you get to watch people. You ever see people in Costco put ketchup on their pizza? I only see it, and they eat it with a knife and fork.
That's disgusting.
That's
Those
gross.
people worship Hitler.
Yeah, they should be damned. You don't put ketchup on your pizza. Who the fuck does that shit?
I bet you Yule does. Filipinos love doing that. I don't know why.
I bet you Yule also puts butter in his coffee like a fucking savage.
I saw that little thing, the meme, whatever, something, or GIF, whatever it was. That's pretty sweet.
Yuletide.
Rotide. Did we have anything interesting? Oh, it looks like we didn't have shit to talk about.
No,
wow.
It was a nice conversation. Third party today.
Oh, we had some new studio series announcements. I don't know if y'all talked about that, but
no. Why don't you go ahead and fill us in, Bubba?
I remember there's a Cliff Jumper. They're doing a Cliff Jumper from the Bumblebee movie.
Oh, really?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me look it up. It's just they saw it's a listing or something. I don't know if it's for sure, but I'm sure with the NYC Toy Fair coming up this weekend, we're going to see a lot of new stuff. I guess I didn't put it in here. Y'all talked about the Flames toy stuff. I'm sorry. I just saw a little bit. I may not be right on everything, but I did see a Cliff Jumper, and they talked about the Constructicons that we already know about.
That's two finally.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, they've been putting them out pretty quickly. I mean, we got all of them this year, and I think we'll finish it off the last two this year. So.
Well, Matt, what's your opinion? Oscar has a theory about what Hasbro could be doing with the new line. Oscar, why don't you film and get his opinion?
God damn it! You'll make me go through this again.
Which line? What are you talking about?
So, so it's very obvious that I'll nutshell it. So one step changers, Cyberverse definitely aimed at fucking kids. Okay.
And men.
And Matt. All right, Earthrise now and Studio Series definitely aimed at adults. All right, nobody get to tell me that that's aimed at a child. So whenever someone says, goes, yeah, but these are aimed for kids. No, they're fucking not, because no one in their right mind's going to give a 12-year-old a fucking like movie mix master from the Studio Series. It's going to go ahead, play with that, you little shit. Now they're not going to know what the hell they're doing with it. So
put the bye-bye down.
Yeah.
But I've been noticing over time, it feels like the plastic on the Studio Series stuff feels better than some of the stuff I felt on Siege. Jesus Christ. All right. And Earthrise, because Hoist is a fucking disappointment. You will be disappointed by it. The moment you spin him around, Matthew, you got to say, "Oh my god!"
Oh no, yeah, I've seen the waffles. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad waffles. Like you can see pins.
Well, that was Siege was like that too. Siege had a lot of great ones, and then they had a couple. You know, they had some. You know, waffles that like Ultra Magnus had some issues, but there's also a third-party company coming out filling that stuff in, so you have that option too. But I understand what you're saying about the
So again, I'm not saying this is a grievous travesty amongst the fandom or the brand. All right, I'm just saying if they were to basically incorporate more solid designs of their figures, like this Earthrise Wheeljack. Put in a couple of slots in the inside of his freaking legs, you got a mini masterpiece, hands down. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You really do. If they were to incorporate stuff like that, add an extra head, like in the case of Wheeljack, I said, one head's regular, one head's got the blue light on, he's got his little shoulder missile, he's got like a shitty little rubber thing that's his like tools and stuff like that. He could have a rifle for all I freaking care, some blast effects. I would pay like $40 or something more like that.
Yeah, but you're going to get a lot of people that don't want to pay $40 for a deluxe just because of the add-on
but also they're the same ones that sit there and say that the Cyberverse stuff is some of the best things they've ever seen in their entire life, when that feels like it's been made with a freaking, I don't know, a recycled box of cigarettes.
Well, as far as the Cyberverse stuff, now I don't know about there's different Cyberverse stuff, but the ones I've collected so far that come with the Build-A-Figure parts, the plastic is trash, but they're fun. They have great articulation, better paint. They come with a blast effect and all that stuff. And you're paying $20, but it feels like a $12 toy. That's the only negative thing I've ever said. I bought Prime and Bumblebee, and I've seen Megatron looks pretty good, and Shockwaves. But I've seen some of the other ones. They look pretty good. And like I said, they've got just as good articulation as Siege and Earthrise, and they have good paint also. But it's just the plastic.
Wrist articulation.
Yeah.
Matthew? Do they?
But it
really they could go Super Saiyan.
Yeah, they could do all that stuff. But the plastic makes it.
Know what that is.
The plastic makes it feel cheap, really cheap. It just doesn't feel right, but it's got everything else. So I understand the Siege and the Earthrise. Yeah, if you think that's for kids, I mean it is kind of, but. You're also doing the G1 figure. You're going to the 40, the late 30s and early 40-year-olds because they know G1. Kids don't know who, the G1 Optimus Prime is. I mean, they don't know unless their parents have, or they have dads that, collect it also. But, if you just ask a kid off the street, do you know what G1 Prime looks like? They may not probably know what it is. So, yeah, they are geared towards that. And then Cyberverse is geared towards kids because they're easy 1-step or 3-step changers or whatever they want to be.
Right, but I mean, like, if you think about it, if like, for example, if I was to buy my nephew Sebastian, who I think is a smart kid, I go to Walmart, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get one of these fucking robots because it's Sebastian's fucking birthday, and I sit there, I grab that hook, that Earthrise freaking grapple, I turn that box around and 23 steps. Yeah, you're going back on the shelf. Oh, look at this 1-step changer. There you go. This is perfect.
Yeah. Well, the Studio Series are getting harder.
I've seen in different threads on Facebook and in the forums where people raise legitimate beefs like, hey, look, why am I paying $20 for a Transformer when I'm getting like waffle legs? And then someone's like, well, these are designed for kids. It's like, no, they're not. You can't convince me that these are aimed at children. The Earthrise and the Studio Series.
And the Studio Series are getting hard to transform too. Man, when that Bumblebee I just did a review on, I think the 07 movie one, it has a pretty decent complex transformation for it. for a kid, and I'm like, it took me a minute just to figure it out, and I'm just like, man, if these kids, they would just be, breaking off pieces, the wings and everything be falling off, the wheels and all that stuff. So the studio series getting a little more complex in the transformation.
Right, but that's the thing. Like, that's my argument is that I'm saying that the Earthrise and the studio series are not intended for children. So when people use that as an excuse for shoddy work, like the back of Hoist's legs, for example, they're aimed for kids. No, fuck that, dude. Stop making excuses.
I believe that. I'm on your side on that. I try to point out all those things, But I've pointed this. I've done reviews for so long, so many years. It's just repetitive about the waffles. So I'm just like, I don't usually try to point out the waffles because I've already pointed. It's like, okay, it's the same shit over and over. So I try not to, harp on that all the time. I will point out, but I'm just like, it's fucking. That's what they do.
What I will do
instead of pointing out the waffles, you should just lift up your shirt and show them the pancakes.
I could do that.
What I will give Hasbro credit on is they are experimenting right now, and I'm going to use Revenge of the Fallen Devastator for an example. You have 2 Voyager class figures as legs. You have 2 Leader class figures as an upper or lower torso.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have a Voyager class figure for the head. You have 2 deluxe classes for an arm, and I don't know what Scrapper, if he's going to be a Voyager or whatever. Either way, it's better than like the Combiner Wars setup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving them credit there because it's not your average, like, okay, 5 bots, this guy's a freaking torso, these guys are limbs, or they could be, these guys could either be arms or legs. They can interact with other, you're not going to get that with this Devastator set. This is, I think, is a nice experiment that they're doing.
Yeah, it's an ugly design, but yeah, I'm
it's
excited.
ugly as shit. I'm not saying it's beautiful.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be a big boy. It's going to be the biggest thing they've ever fucking put out in the realm of Combiner that isn't a Titan class figure. And I think it's experimenting, and I hope it's successful for them to kind of sit there and be like, oh, hey, why don't we do Combiners, but not like be like 1 Voyager and 4 fucking deluxe class limbs? Let's do 1 Leader class and 4 Voyager class limbs. Like, it'll help pave the way for something to kind of increase their standards. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't. I've lost everyone. They stopped listening.
Sounds beefy.
I've always, Hasbro, I think they're doing, I don't want to say they're trying their best, but they're doing what they can work with. They're, doing the best they can with that, what they, can try.
Oh, bullshit. Their stocks are up.
Is it really though?
Yeah, they're doing good.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, up right now. And
I like what they're doing with, Siege and Earthrise. They're trying to do. A lot of people don't like, gimmicks for Transformers because Transformers are gimmicks themselves. But I don't think that the gimmicks they're doing now with the new lines are taking over. Like, with Armada, the gimmick kind of took away from the Transformer because
or even with Prime, dude. Remember Weaponizers? That shit got old real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that because they wouldn't even lock. It was so annoying.
Yeah, what they did with the movie stuff, with the the weapons, mech tech stuff. You could the Voyagers would lock, but the Deluxes wouldn't.
Yep.
So, but I like what they're trying to do.
Because that Bumblebee one had a badass fucking gun when you extended it. So I remember like crazy gluing the thing fucking open.
Which one was the? Oh, okay, I remember Weaponizers now. Now that Oscar said super glue the weapon open, totally remember. I'm like, what was that? Can't remember.
But I like what they're doing with with Earthrise. They got the Micromasters. They're doing. You can build bases now, and I think it's fun. The playability with them and Siege and whatever they're going to come out the next line. I think they're doing really good. I mean, they're putting a lot of love. The prices are going up, and I expect I don't know if the next line of the Deluxes will be like $25 now instead of $20.
Hasbro's stock right now is $97.68 a share. And I guess at the end of the summer, it peaked at like $129 a share, and then it dropped off. Like sometimes with stocks, they go up, and then everybody sells to make money, and then they start buying again. But it's rising and rising and rising again. It's like up 26 cents a share today. It's going up. It's a good stock. I'm thinking about investing in it it's a good investment. It's a safe investment. Whenever they put movies out and stuff, they make money.
You have to think that Hasbro, Transformers is not the only thing Hasbro does. So,
No, we were just talking
Minute.
about how they basically have a monopoly. In
Yeah,
the
then
industry
you,
right now.
I just I don't agree with when collectors say, well, they're doing the best they can. They're doing the best. They're doing what they want.
They're
Sorry,
doing
I
the
said-
best for
sorry, I
their
said
bottom
that.
line a lot of times. Like honestly,
Well,
They
what
really
company
are.
doesn't do that? What company doesn't do that though?
Well, you have to.
I don't know. I mean, it's fair to say what big company doesn't do that, but I mean, I do think there are companies out there that do extra work and extra detailing that they don't
Okay.
have to do.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
can believe that. Yeah. Now let me ask you something. Did y'all see the Snake Eyes or the GI Joe stuff? What y'all think of that?
We were going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're about to.
I was kind of excited. I haven't been a GI. I haven't been
That
excited
looks
for GI
fucking
Joes in a
dope
while.
as shit.
I know it comes with a lot of stuff.
I'm about ready to tell Oscar I'm canceling our trade for some ninja.
No,
I'm
you
just
go
kidding.
right to hell.
No, I'm still in on that. So
So they showed.
Me too.
Was Snake Eyes the only one they showed,
Yes.
or we
As
leaked
far as
out, whatever? It looks pretty good.
Classified.
It looks really good. I'm excited for them. Does anybody know the price point for these things?
The rumor I'm hearing about this Snake Eyes is that he's going to be an exclusive of some kind.
Oh, really? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like it's some show exclusive, but that's just that version. It's probably because it comes with it's probably the stand with the little wolves on it.
yeah, you're
That's
still gonna get the
exclusive thing.
just Snake Eyes with just like basic weapons and stuff like that, probably.
Oh, okay.
I
So
hope
it
it comes
was-
with timber.
Does anyone know if Greg was actually serious about Timber being because we were kind of talking about this behind the scenes, and Greg had said Timber is a build-a-figure, and I was like, I can kind of see that.
I think it's kidding about that. It's not a build figure.
Okay. I
I
mean,
don't
I could
think it's
kind of
gonna
see
be-
it though. Like, when you consider the first wave is how many figures? It's
Six, I think?
but it's two
Yeah.
Snake Eyes and then one of everyone else, right? So I could kind of see it.
You
Head.
get like a dog leg.
Yeah.
Like a dog leg.
So are we thinking of what, $20, $25 probably?
I wouldn't be shocked if it was 30, dude. If they, I'm not gonna lie to you, if they shoot the fair one, and they take the chance, they take the risk, because in the end of the day, all business is risk all the time. But if they decide to go ahead and let's say this is like the bar they're setting, the Snake Eyes comes with this character, these accessories, and it comes with this backdrop, I wouldn't be surprised if that shit's like $35, man.
Right. I'll tell you why. Right. Now this kind of links. This connects to our prior discussion. What the Transformers that are $20, is it deluxe $20?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, because they're designed that way because they're for children, right? Well, there are no children fans of G.I. Joe. There is no fiction. This is only aimed at people our age range who collect.
Yeah.
So they will charge more.
What does
They'll provide more.
Matt? What does a NECA or NECA or however you say it? What is
NECA.
their?
It's NECA.
Yeah. What is their like horror?
Their
stuff
ultimates,
like run?
about $30.
Yeah, that'd be what I'd
At stores.
expect for this to be something like
Well,
that.
let me ask you this question. Okay, so people are excited. I've seen a lot of people excited, but do you think this is going to sell well, though? Because
Snake Eyes?
no, and just this whole line. Do you think people are going to actually buy? Because not a lot of people. I just don't see people over in the forums whatever just been wanting new GI Joe stuff. I mean, I don't see a lot of it. I may not follow a lot of GI Joe stuff, but I just don't see it.
There's a pretty big group of people who want G.I. Joe, and I think there's a larger than expected group of people who really want to see 6-inch figures of G.I. Joes. I don't think this is a series that you can run into the ground like Marvel Legends, where you're like, and here's this character that you only vaguely care about. Like it's gonna have to be
Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, like it's gonna have to be the big figures, the big characters that actually mean something to anyone.
Is there a female in this the first series?
Yeah,
Jinx.
Scarlet.
Scarlet. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably have Baroness in the second one, probably.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Baroness probably in the second with Storm Shadow and
hopefully Zartan.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a Zartan.
You see, if they were smart, they would do baths of the true figures.
Yeah, that'd
like
be pretty cool.
Destro, Zartan, Cobra Commander, they're all baths. And you gotta buy fucking Sergeant. You gotta buy Sergeant Slaughter and you've got to fucking buy like who else?
Oh, what if they did bats? The robots.
That's what I
wouldn't
would
be surprised to see bats come out
because
as
you
a
could
troop builder.
Yeah, you could troop build the shit out of those.
Shattered Joe cast.
I know it's not usually what we talk about, but I thought it was pretty interesting, and especially when I
No,
started.
it is interesting, dude. This is fucking great. This is what people wanted for a long.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
Long time.
I don't need. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think all the dudes that collect Mythic Legions are gonna jump over and start collecting these Joes.
Mm-hmm.
They should.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like I said, I don't think you need to go crazy with who you make. Like you need to make like the core characters that like kind of strike it big. You know, like I would personally like to see the original 13 Joes done. I think that'd be great. But then I think like there's whichever one's kind of transcended the animated series that kind of stood out. Yeah, like your Shipwreck, a Gung Ho, a Blowtorch.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Who's the medic? Who is the medic?
I said
Lifeline.
Who is the MP?
Yeah, it's Lifeline. God, why?
There was Lifeline and there was Doc.
That's Law and Order.
Who was the MP with the dog?
It's
what was his
Law
name?
and Order.
Junkyard.
What about Mindbender? What about him?
They got to do a six
you
Serpentor.
mentioned,
They
like-
have to do a Serpentor. Like paint.
I love a
Mentioned a bunch
Serpentor.
of characters that all I see them doing is reusing a bunch of Marvel Legend bucks. So fucking like Mindbender, that's a Marvel Legend buck. Zartana, it's a Marvel Legend buck they could use over.
This fucking Commander Spider-Gwen. God damn it.
He's so skinny.
Oh, no. It looks like my Duke is really just a repainted Captain America.
They took his shield off. That's all they did.
God, this Baroness looks like Thanos.
I wonder if Zartan will change. I wonder if Zartan will change colors. That would be pretty cool if you put him in water.
What if they just came with accessories where you could swap things out?
That's what I need. I need Zartan. Zartan doesn't need to change colors. Zartan needs multiple heads.
Is there a guy named Zaymok or something?
Yeah, the
Max
Dreadnoks.
and Zaymok. Yeah.
Oh, the twins. Yeah. Well, I hope we get the Dreadnoks too. Or what is it? Called?
G.I. Joe one up.
What was the female Dreadnought?
Zirana.
Zirana.
She's the one that fell in love with Mainframe in the cartoon.
What about the what was the snake? The half man, half snake thing?
Galobulus.
Was that who? Okay.
God damn, dude, this is sorry. I remember all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was Galobulus, Nemesis Enforcer, the chick, I don't remember her name. Those were Corolla.
Oh, yeah.
Corolla Records. Shout out to Eddie Desmond. That's all right.
All right. All right, we can go back. I think we were going to do the question. I'm sorry. We can do the question now.
No, that was a good conversation. We were going to talk about it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to suggest it on this podcast right now that we make at least a little discussion part just for the G.I. Joe so they actually debut on store shelves.
Mm-hmm.
So we can keep people up to date on that.
No, I mean,
well as guess who's going to peg warm.
Yeah, I feel like, and honestly, like, I feel like we don't need to just discuss Transformers. Like, really, we don't. Like, I don't know. Like, if we're passionate about something, let's discuss it. We don't have to cultivate every piece of nerd news out there.
Well, then, if you want to talk about other stuff, what do y'all think about the lineup for He-Man?
Let's talk
the
about
voice
it.
actors.
I don't know anything about it, though.
Let's do this, right? Because it's been a while since we engaged our fans. We're going to make a post on Facebook on Friday. One of us is anyway. We're going to make a poll. What would you prefer us to include in every episode of Shattercast Uncut? Because let's face facts here. Sometimes you could get a little run down when it comes to robots.
Mm-hmm. And as you see, we really don't have anything to talk about.
There's times like today where there's not a lot of third-party news, and the only official news is freaking a weeb whose wet dream comes true because he can now finally fuck his favorite female Transformer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then cream all over his life-size anime girl body pillow.
Yes.
I plan on doing it tonight.
God.
My God.
I have two of them.
Shurikan, I'm coming for you, Shuri-chan.
Man, is a dildo glued to one.
Matt's Weeaboo pillow comes with a free junk. No, but so on Friday when we upload this episode, one of us will make a poll as to what you would like us to talk about. It's going to go from G.I. Joe to He-Man, or just other inclusions to like I'm telling you guys right now, those that are listening, we're not talking about fucking comic books. There's other podcasts that do that. They do a great job of it. All right. I'll say it. Nerd Rage Radio does a great job talking about comic books and anime. All right. Whenever that does come up in their conversations. So we're not going to touch that. But if you guys want us to expand more, we're going to make a post, make a vote of what you want to hear.
There's a 43.72% chance that what's going to post on Friday is a question about who we make a poll.
I'll fucking do it. I get up at 4:30 in the morning. So
remember we had that problem last time.
I do.
Yeah, well, we could make the poll. I mean, it wouldn't fucking. Okay, whatever. That was my fault. I couldn't make the poll right.
None of us knew how to do it.
I don't think we've ever done a poll.
How do you make a poll?
How do you make which favorite poll do you like? Poll 1 or poll 2?
Yeah.
That's what that was the question.
Let me rephrase this. I will make the poll post.
Thank God. Hope you can figure it out, man.
I will talk to these guys behind the scenes. We will come up with a list of what you guys want us to talk about. Okay. Don't talk about something you're not that well experienced with, Matthew.
That's true.
The least popular subject is what we're going to discuss.
Oh, that's fair. I like it.
Legos.
We should do a political show. I'll call it Shattered Political Cast.
Oh man, we'd fight each other. All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a damn thing. No,
I don't either.
But let's. I guess we could go try for this question. This is a big question, but I did tell the young man that wrote it. We would.
Oh, this is James G hit me up this morning and asked me what the email address was.
What's the question?
Okay, so James G writes in, over the last 15 or more years, different forms of Transformer incarnations of media, we've been giving new G1 characters that weren't around during our childhood. A few others have been absorbed from other continuities into G1. My question is, what characters do you enjoy and like being added to the G1 lineup, and do you have a representation of them? To help, I've added a list below of the ones I could think of off the top of my head and where I think they originated. If there are any wrong/unaccounted for, it is what it is. And keep up the good work. Roll Tide, James.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. It feels good to say it here if someone say it correctly. So in Autobots, you put Drift, IDW, Windblade, Hasbro fan vote, Victorion, Hasbro fan vote. Victorion's not my fan vote to combiner. Ambulon, Nautica, Pharma, Rung, All IDW, Riptide, IDW, Override, Transformer, Cybertron, Breacher, IDW, Hunt for the Decepticons toy line. And for Decepticons, you had Turmoil, IDW, Lockdown, Transformers Animated, which I fucking love that character. Gigatron, Car Robots, RID, the first version. That's also Megatron. We were talking about him earlier. Breakdown from Transformers Prime. Knockout from Transformers Prime. Nightbird, G1, Roulette, Cyberverse, and Fun Pub. Sunstorm from Dreamwave. Red Wing from Fun Pub. And he also wanted to add Decepticon Justice Division from IDW. So his question is,
who do we?
What characters enjoy and like being added to the G1 lineup, and do you have a representation of that?
So,
I don't think I understand the question.
So, what characters were just added, for example, in the comic book storylines?
Yeah, but he's got
I haven't listed out. Who do you like that was added?
But he's got Nightbird in there. She was in G1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Nightbird is G1.
Yeah.
Well, then don't use that one.
So mine is very simple.
Dang it.
The ones that to me I enjoy transcending their show and love kind of like G1-y representations. Lugnut, Lockdown, and Bulkhead, and they're all from Animated. So
okay, the ones I like that were introduced into the IDW lineup, I want to say, is their take on. I'm sorry, not introduced, but their version of this character, Cyclonus. I really got a good like Ronin vibe off of him, you know. And then of course there's Tailgate was another character I was a fan of. And I'm not gonna lie, obviously Rodimus, because I'm a Rodimus fanboy. I say that a lot, and I still stick by it. But those are the ones I really, I really did like the whole Cyclonus and Tailgate being left behind as someone like before the war started, and then the war ended, and then they finally found him. So I mean, in my case, I think I love IDW's representation of Cyclonus compared to the cartoon.
I like the DJD. Those pretty cool characters.
They were very, but I kind of felt like that was more like an expected answer, like, oh, you said DJD. But
yeah, I can't think of any other ones offhand, to be honest.
I would have liked to have seen the War Within Dinobots,
Yeah.
Just as like fucking tanks on the show.
They were, and that's something we talked a lot about way back in the day, in the early days of Shattercast, was how I liked the Dinobots because they weren't a combining team; they were just a squad.
Oh yeah, I think I've always said that the Dinobots were, I think, one of the strongest teams in Transformers.
Yeah, they translate. I feel like that translates well. Like the Decepticons have, teams of Seekers, and it makes sense to have a team of tanks for the Autobots.
Yeah. It's a good representation of ground and air and what they were.
Yeah, but also I love Lockdown and Breakdown from Prime.
If y'all like the War
Within...
Within,
I could throw out Breakdown. He was cool.
If y'all like the War Within kind of stylized, what the characters, the Civil Warrior Prime that they have that put out is really fucking good. I think I said this on last week when I got him. He is awesome. I hope they make some more. Now, I did like, when the other company, oh God, what was the name of it?
Spark Toys?
Yeah, Spark Toys. Yeah. I liked their Prime. I still love their Prime and their Megatron, and I wish they would have made Grimlock. But I'm hoping that Civil Warrior, whoever they've been around before, because they made a very fucking awesome Prime. And I hope they do a Megatron. I hope they do a lot of other War Within kind of characters in that kind of stylized look, because it's really fun. I've been messing around with that thing for like 2 weeks, and it's awesome. So if y'all like that kind of thing,
I want to also add, though, like what Transformers Prime did with Arachnid, how they took a Beast Wars character. They really did this, and she didn't transform into a fucking spider. She transformed. No, but she transformed into like a spider body, but it was robotic with her.
It was like an attack
arms. She was like a centaur spider, and an attack helicopter. Yeah, but she wasn't didn't look like a fleshy spider. You know what I mean?
Well, that toy was trash. That's probably one of the worst toys ever made.
Well, I mean, not the Legends one. The Legends one's good. The Legends one is good.
But the deluxe
I mean, I like that iteration. I like what they did in terms. It's cool to see something like that. That's not straight up Beast Wars. She's a spider, but she doesn't transform into like
a mechanical spider.
Black Widow. Yeah.
Here's one thing I did love about Black Arachnia. In Transformers Animated was her backstory in Transformers Animated.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll agree with me on this one, Justin.
Yeah, I agree.
I did get like a very Batman, Catwoman-ish type of vibe from them, because they were like an item.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like I actually liked her being in animated. I was so like that would be my representation for that character.
Yeah, I agree. I liked Black Arachnia in there. And I can say, I feel like you did transcend Beast Wars. I didn't even think about that. That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, Oscar.
Transcenders.
I need to go back and watch Animated again. That was a really good show.
I've never watched the whole thing.
I want to watch Prime. I want to watch Prime again.
I saw up to the scene where Starscream is beating the living crap out of them, like early on in the series.
Yeah, so the thing about Animated, and it's fun. It is a fun show, but it gets more serious, the later into the series it goes. And the way it ends, you're like, like there really needed to be that extra season that Cartoon Network didn't pick up. It's a shame.
Oh yeah, they were pushing for that season 4. Like Wyatt, Derek J. Wyatt, who was one of the producers or something.
Yeah.
I think he had everything laid out for season 4.
Did we ever see that Constructicon? Did that ever actually get released? The animated one? Remember?
No.
Only two.
All that's out there's that one guy who made like a gorgeous set of customs.
No, but there was a third-party company was doing one, wasn't it? One of the animated Constructicons, and it never came out.
Yeah, they were doing something. I forget which one. It's
like Super Smash Bros, right? Like Super Mario Brothers. It's like
no, so those came out. Those actually exist. The that was MMC absorbed that company. They made those the Jump Starters. God, what was their names?
Twin Twist.
Yeah, but it was like Mech Ideas. Is that
Mech
right?
Ideas. Yeah, Mech Ideas.
Yeah. So they made the Super Mario version, basically the Super Mario Brother Huffer and Pipes, which is awesome. It's a pain in the ass to transform. Honestly, it's a small toy and it's a pain in the ass to transform. But they made those, but someone was making, I believe, Dirt Boss and Scrapper. I believe.
I know a lot of people wanted the Omega Supreme from animated.
Oh,
They never came out. They never came out, right?
No.
And
there was there's actually a customizer out there who did a really good Omega Supreme. Like it turns into the Arc and actually transforms, and I've seen pictures and it looks pretty awesome. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would pay good money right now for a animated Omega.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna send it to the chat here. This is a custom someone did of. Yeah, here's the link. Check out this animated Omega Supreme that they did. There we go.
I don't have my phone.
Boom, right there.
Don't have my phone.
So what I was going to say about Transformers Animated, that I admit is what I liked was at first it was very MacGuffin driven. Like we got to get the was it, the Allspark that shattered, right?
Yep, the Allspark.
But then it evolved and turned into more about it turned more into character development. Especially Optimus Prime.
I like his character development. I like Prowl's. Like Prowl kind of comes off as somewhat unlikable, but by the end, like he's probably one of my favorite characters.
His sacrifice at the end too was so like this. The look he gave Prime, he smiled at him.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up! You watched the first episode. I was like, "This is whack, bro. I'm gonna go back to be a rapper."
I was like, "How old am I again?"
No, but there was one of my favorite parts. It's in the beginning when Optimus Prime first fights Megatron, and he's like, "Wouldn't even care to remember your name." And then near the end, Justin, remember? Like he entraps him in that like force field, whatever that blows him up.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll get you, Optimus Prime." And he's like, "Oh, look, you remembered my name." And he like blew up. So it just scenes like that I really liked.
Yeah.
That's I adore.
And
I hated some of the human builds.
Yeah, and I don't mind them so much. Like I got that very Cartoon Network vibe when they had like all the like weird like human villains of the day. Like they were fine, but like I was glad that by the end like you really didn't see them anymore, you know? So
Is Gator okay?
That's my wife. She's dying.
Oh.
She's sick?
As long as Gator's okay.
Nah, she always starts coughing and it turns into a spectacle. So she'll be all right. Sorry. I should have muted.
That's all right, man. Hey, Gator's cute. I mean, for a cross-eyed dog, whatever.
Whatever.
But
your cat's retarded.
I fuck you, man. That's my baby. Baby's she's so perfect and precious. Nothing could ever make me think ill of her. Nothing.
Well, shout outs too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shout outs to, of course, to the ROC, as well as Toy Detox for making a comeback.
Yeah,
for where they're with the Nerd Rage Radio Network now. They have a network. Is that a thing, Robert?
The Cool Table Network.
Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Cool Table Network?
It's the Four Dummies. The Four Dummies Network.
No, the Cool Table Network. We've been shouted out for years. It's all everybody, all of us, all the connected podcasts.
Okay.
No? You forgot all about the Cool Table Network?
No, I didn't forget about
I think the Cool Table Network's forgotten about us.
That's a possibility.
No, I'm kidding. So yeah, shout out to Toy Detox. I wonder how Mickey's doing. I need to reach out to him, unless he's blocked me like certain people on Facebook have without.
Sorry
about that.
I had to.
Whatever, guys. I thought we were like a team and stuff, and thought we had something good. That we would.
Not everybody.
We would do a clown bukkake with Matthew in the middle, getting a pearl necklace.
You mean that's canceled? Oh.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out. Fuck y'all, I'm out.
Now, so on behalf of me and my friends here at Shattercast Uncut, on behalf of the Furious Foursome, we ask you to please collect responsibly. And for the sake of Primus, please be good to yourselves and each other. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy your weekend. And remember,
shut the fuck up, Chip.
That's right.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Good test.